But
He's
their religion, they believe that more wives will get you into heaven. So there you go.
It'll definitely make you die early. You're gonna be stressed out.
Damn right you are.
That's 65 women with 65 issues with 65 problems.
Welcome to the Just Acting Up Show. I'm your host, Joffrey. We up in this thing, man. What up, Chris? What's up, man?
That's my music, man. What's going on, y'all? This boy, Big Chris. I was just watching my favorite movie of all time. It's 5 Heartbeats,
Oh my gosh, man. Mike. What up, Mike?
What's going on, people? How you living? What's going on, guys? Everything good?
Everything good, man. We're about to get this show kicked off for you, man. We about to do this show. It's gonna be another good show we got lined up for y'all. So we're gonna be talking about some chicken.
Chicken?
That's right, chicken. We're gonna be talking about that. And of course, some movies hit the box office this past weekend. We're gonna be talking about that. And new streaming shows on Netflix and other films coming soon to you. All that more, Just Acting Up Show. Y'all stay locked in. Let's go. And we are here on the big stage. But before we get into all this breaking news, because always some breaking news, always something going on, man. We want you to do what? Oh, right there.
Like, share, and subscribe. It's free.
Free, man.
We will highly appreciate it. Highly.
What dance is that, James?
I don't know, man. Sometimes you just feel the beat, man. You know how like Mary J. Blige and P. Diddy, when they feel the beat, they just whatever. What did he always do? He shake his shoulders. When the music hits you, you just feel it, man. Let it go.
Feel it in my bones.
Feel it in my spirit, man. And I tell you who else is feeling some stuff in their spirit. Or was. So, of course, we record this show on Saturday morning. And this is, what's the title I want to give for it? I guess you could say what? Chicken Gate? Chicken, I don't know, man.
It's supposed to be a chicken celebration.
Chicken bowl.
Hopefully, hold on, because this is recorded on Saturday before. I hope that my people, like, I know it's summertime. I know the watermelons is growing and chicken is flowing at the family reunion, but I hope you all act like you got some dog sense.
Once upon a time at the chicken bowl.
Because the way
they gonna go crazy
chicken sandwiches, I can't do that again.
See, that's what I'm saying. If they went crazy on the chicken sandwiches and that was at full price, come on now. How many pieces? Boy, we are in a bad inflation. This is the only thing popping right now.
You know, if y'all know what we're talking about, folks, Popeyes, to celebrate their 50th anniversary, are going to roll the prices back to what they were in the 70s, 59 cents a piece of chicken. And yeah, I'm kind of nervous on how this is going to go.
I'm sorry, say that price again. How much was it during the?
59 cents.
59.
And what year was that?
That was in the 70s. I don't have the exact year, but it was in the 70s. It was around that price.
I wish they would roll the doggone gas prices back to how much.
Man,
that ain't gonna, boy. If that happens,
ooh,
man.
Talking about looking at the pump. I'm looking like.
You are not supposed to be going to the pump, like worried about how much you got paid.
$5 for 1 gallon. It's gonna be. They say it's gonna be 6 by August.
Dude.
You wake up, you be like, damn, boy, I gotta go to that pump.
I gotta go to that pump, man. Like, boy,
shit.
Man,
I just need that 1 gallon to get here to here. I'm just kidding. All right.
Okay.
Man,
Straight up, man. I don't know why. Why does the accuracy on the Boondocks, that third season, the fried chicken flu. I'm just thinking about it right now. I don't know if y'all remember the episode, man, but they were going in on that chicken. Yeah. They were not playing.
Yeah. Listen, I know it's gonna be something. I feel like the inner Black person of me feel like I should just go get some chicken right now so I could.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be sold out by 12 p.m.
Exactly. So, and I don't want to hear nobody say, Popeyes, they just so, if you wait till tomorrow, it's 59 cents, ma'am, it ain't gonna be no tomorrow. Okay.
They can try to put a limit. They may try to put a limit on there. We got all the tricks. So it's gonna be like, no, limited 4 pieces. Okay, I'm gonna get 4 pieces, but I got 4 other people in the car that's also getting 4. Or they may like, we're gonna go right back to the line 3 more times.
Just go dip right back in the line.
Oh, you got 12 pieces by the time you come through 4 times.
Boy, $20 for chicken. Boy, you don't want like $20 worth of chicken
on a Sunday.
After church.
After church.
What time Popeyes open? 10:30, 11?
9. I think probably open up at 9. I'm pretty sure somebody is going to wake up in the morning and they're going to be.
If I was a Popeyes worker, I would not be. Hey, I ain't coming in today.
Look, this is a true story. I don't know if you guys remember this. Oprah one day, this is when her show was going on. She said, "I'm feeding the country," right? This is Oprah, so her money is very long. She had it in a newspaper. It was in the newspaper when you cut a clipping out and KFC, right? Mm-hmm. My mama, she had 2 of those things. No, she had 3. She had 3 of them, right? They had no limit. We walk in there, boys, a line. It's packed in KFC. And those workers was like screaming out, "Thank you, Oprah. Thank you, Oprah." They kept saying that, "Thank you, Oprah."
Oh, they been our food.
Yeah, they
dropped some chicken on the floor.
Yeah.
They did.
Cause they was there like from 9 in the morning, probably early, because they opened up a little bit early, all the way to the next day, bro.
The best bet is try to catch them when they first open if y'all do go out there. But you know what? Whenever the government rolls out something to the masses, I feel like sorry, did I say that backwards? I think whenever people roll out something to the masses like that, the government may be rolling something out to us, low key.
That we just don't know about.
This random. What Popeye's been in business for how long? I don't remember a 30-year, 40-year chicken discount. I'm just saying. What they putting in the chicken? Wasn't it a chicken shortage? Don't they always talk about there's a chicken shortage?
Yeah, they always saying it's a chicken shortage, but they still find.
A comedian brought up a great point. How is it a chicken wing shortage, but there's still abundance of chicken thighs, chicken breasts?
Cat Williams said that.
Cat Williams,
He's like, man, how's it?
It's a chicken. It's all the. So is it the shortage of chickens?
Well, I don't know what it is.
Away from chicken this weekend. So.
I don't know what it is about that yard bird.
Yeah,
but
my Black people, y'all can have it.
Yeah. So
I was thinking about getting some Chinese food, but something going on with that bird.
That's just as bad,
Something going on with that bird. I'm good.
Something wrong with that bird. Something wrong with that bird, man. So I don't know.
Taste just like chicken. Okay, let me stop. I
don't know what's gonna happen.
I don't know what meat this is.
I don't know what's gonna happen after this yard bird, chicken bowl, whatever you want to call it. But the fallout, I'm pretty sure we're about to see a whole lot of videos. So y'all don't fight nobody. Not over no chicken.
It's crazy that they not even expanded it out for the next 2 days. It's one day. So
one day.
One day. So what were you doing at this time? with Popeye?
And please don't lose your life over some chicken.
No, please.
Ain't that serious. Don't mess up your car over some chicken. I remember what was all the stuff we seen when chicken sandwich came out.
Boy, they was messing over the cars. Some reports they was stealing the chicken sandwiches. And then it's crazy, like the next month you can buy it with no issue.
No issue.
I'm like, none. What was the point? And then I tasted, I got it sent over to the house, Uber Eats. And I'm like, bro, this ain't what is this? Oh, that's some strong nigger here.
Yeah. Because it was out months before it got all the craziness. I don't know what it was. Somebody did it. Like I had it that way. We had it at lunch for work one day. Like before it was the craze. It was like people going crazy with this. It's just a chicken sandwich.
Yeah, it's just a chicken sandwich. Like it's like no difference. I'm sorry. I'm gonna find me something else. So you know what? That Sunday gonna be the Sunday I cook something. I'm good.
Oh man. Oh my gosh.
Better.
And before we end this, we must give our salute to Mr. Stephen Curry. Good Lord.
Yes.
Lord.
Yeah.
Of course, this show airs on Tuesday, but the final game, game 3 was played last night. And Stephen Curry hit third. Yeah, it was game 3 because they won. Boston won one in Golden State. Golden State won in their home. Game 4. It was game 4.
Because it's now tied. Yeah, I think. Wait, is the series now tied?
Yeah,
it's tied 2-2 right now.
It's tied 2-2. But gotta give that boy Steph Curry. That boy that went off. Off for 10.
Yeah. Game 5 was, like we said, we record on Saturday, so game 5 was yesterday on Monday. It's gonna be tied 3-2. So I don't know if it's gonna be the Celtics or Warriors, but it's looking like a really good, interesting, fun finals so far, back and forth, because that's how we like it. We don't want to be no clean sweep. We want to be entertained.
You not entertained?
Have you not? Are you not entertained? So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we gonna go into the Critics Corner real soon. Got some films to talk about that's hitting the airwaves and a new Marvel TV series. So y'all stay locked in. Just Acting Up Show. It's gonna be a good show. Yes, this is the Critics Corner. I'm trying to get the accent. The Critics Corner. I don't know. Corner? Critics Corner? Oh man, y'all know I'm silly, man. And so, this is where we're going to deep dive, talk about TV shows and films and movies. And if you want to go to more detail analysis, go to where? Joffy's VIP. Wow, right there. More in-depth analysis right there. I got to upload some more videos. I've been busy, man. But I'm gonna upload the videos for y'all because there's a lot of stuff that's been breaking news and everything. So, but before we get into this breaking news, I want y'all to mark your calendars and remind yourself later on this week is the reunion of Martin. Martin.
What's your favorite Martin episode?
Ooh, man.
One of them. Because it's
the one with the puppet. No, Mama's Bird. Mama's Bird is funny. I remember I was sick on the couch and I woke up to that laughing.
What about you, James?
Man, there's too many. Tommy Hitman Hearns. Poor Martin start fighting the referee and stuff. Like, man, no, Hitman right there. That's one of them.
For me, I'm a radio guy. So. For me, you can take the children. The Varnell Hill.
Yeah, the Varnell Hill.
Varnell, did you miss me? Yeah, man. Y'all mark our calendars. It's on BET Plus, June 16th. Couple days from now, so y'all make sure y'all check that out, man. Looking forward to this, man. It's gonna be a good one, man. So, with that being said, let's move on to other news. Did y'all see the trailer? The trailer of all trailers, the Black Adam trailer with The Rock.
It was good.
Oh yeah, man.
But it's DC. I can't fully trust these. They give you all the good parts in the trailer.
Yeah, hey, man.
I wasn't. That's not the Black that I want to see a trailer. I want to see the Black Panther. No disrespect to The Rock and all them, but is DC. So when I saw it, I was like,
Oh, speaking of trailers, that Iron Mike trailer that came out. Did y'all see that one?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Iron Mike.
Mike
Oh
Tyson.
yeah,
Mike
Mike
Tyson.
Tyson. Yeah.
That looked good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That trailer was fire. It's coming out on Hulu, right?
Hulu.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
In
Shout out to
August.
Hulu, because Hulu got the Prey.
What's that?
Prey.
Is that the Predator one?
The Predator.
Oh, yes. That's another good trailer that came out. That looks, I have a few friends that are really excited about that because it looks like it's taking it back to its comic book roots, and that franchise needed that. So yeah, man. So y'all keep a note. Black Adam, The Rock, we're gonna see how it goes. It looks good.
It's safe to say that both of those trailers was better than the Black Adam. See?
And they're not even superheroes.
They ain't even superheroes. See?
I'm excited for it. I want to see how they do. And then of course, like we said, Prey, the Predator, and the Mike Tyson. And let's also not forget a new movie that came out on Netflix called Hustle with Adam Sandler, and there's a William Herman Gomez that is on it. I finished watching it. It's about 2 hours. A lot of people showed up in this film, basketball players to very familiar faces. Like Robert Duvall is in it as well. Queen Latifah, who plays as Adam Sandler's wife. And when I saw, I'm like, wait, Adam Sandler and Queen Latifah married? But it was great. Very good basketball film. If y'all have not watched and seen it, Adam Sandler put on a very good performance. Very funny, and I know people are saying that he should stay in this genre. Serious roles, but add his comedic chops to it. It just works.
Right.
It just works.
His career. You know, because for a minute he was getting those, what's that award for worst movies and stuff? Because
Razzies.
Yeah.
Razzies as well. And so yeah, those films are out. Check out those trailers as well. And let's not forget that Comic Palooza is coming to a George R. Brown event to you. But you know, George R. Brown is here in Houston.
Waiting on
So
our call, y'all.
Y'all need to get to Houston.
George R. Brown. It's George R. Brown.
Why are we saying like that? George R. Brown.
George R. Brown. I put the George R. Brown Mall. Then somebody said, ain't no damn mall. It's a convention.
It's a convention center.
It's a convention center. And also that's on Netflix. James forgot to mention. This is a show called Sweet. What's it called? Sweet something. Jesus. Anyway, it's about a man that had like 65 wives. 65 wives. Wow.
I gotta say that.
Is he a millionaire, a billionaire? Because
no, it's more of a church, polygamy. Help me out, you guys. You guys pronounce words better than me. Polygamy. There you go. Yeah, polygamy. But their religion, they believe that more wives will get you into heaven. So there you go.
It'll definitely make you die early. You're gonna be stressed out.
Damn right you are.
That's 65 women with 65 issues, with 65 problems, who all have PMS at the 65 different times. No, at the same time if they sync up.
Boy.
Excuse me, I know a little bit. I got a bunch of girl cousins.
How you handle that, man? What's his occupation? Or what does he do?
Well, he's a prophet. He's a prophet. So they believe the prophet, and he had power within the church because he was the one that was giving all the men their wives. So if you had one wife, if you even had two, you got to have three. Three and above will get you into heaven.
So how does it work if you don't have nobody in that? And he just got all like, why you holding all the people? Like,
you know what? You'll just be the village idiot.
Boy,
I can't.
It's called Stay Sweet. That's the name of it. Stay sweet. Stay sweet. So it's a Stay Sweet, Pray and Obey. It's a very good documentary. It's about polygamy and the church, and Netflix has this niche of coming out with these documentaries. Boy, it'd be some that be going on this earth that you don't know anything about.
No, I tend to go to Dave Hollister route. I'm just a one woman man. Ha, see what I did there? Y'all catch this. I'm just a one woman man. Oh, speaking of, Ms. Marvel came out this week too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was really good. I know Mike ain't seen it yet because he's letting it build, as he always say. It's really good. It was really good. And she's supposed to be the character that an important character for this next phase of Marvel movies come out. So yeah, the series off to a really good start.
Yeah,
Easter eggs in there as well.
Yeah, a lot of Easter eggs. I dig it. I saw it. I watched it. And I like what I see. I like that Marvel is taking that other approach for representation with different people of color. So I approve of that. I dig it, man. Pretty good. It's pretty good. I like the artwork too on it as well too. That they use on it. So yeah.
I like how they changed up her powers, like because I know in the comics she has like she can stretch and enlarge her hands and all, but they got it like she has that cosmic thing power that does thing like Captain Marvel. So I guess I don't know, but it's cool. It's cool how they did it. I was like, yeah.
And to finish that off, there was a rumor that was a Black Panther trailer that's supposed to drop. So pretty much it will be dropping soon. So keep eyes on that because we're looking forward to that. That's gonna like, oh God.
I think it's gonna drop after Thor comes out. Or
probably
comes out.
Yeah, hold on to that.
It's supposed to come out in October or November, right?
November. They better come out in November. I mean, I'm about to say because Black Adam come out in October, so I'm like,
yeah, but see, Black Adam was supposed to come out in July, and they pushed it down.
Yeah, they've been swapping everything. So
I think they were just trying to make sure they don't come out the same month the Marvel release comes out.
You better not show up in November.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, because Thor comes out in July. I think it's July 4th.
July, yeah, I think it's July 4th weekend.
Yeah, July 4th weekend. Yeah, that comes out, and then you got Black Adam. Sorry, Ron.
You bet,
sorry, Ron. Yeah.
So, and also make sure you go to the theaters to see Jurassic World Dominion. That is out now. Hearing mixed reviews on it. I haven't watched it yet, but you know everybody will see the dinosaurs. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I wish I could have switched out on shirts to make myself look a little bit more distinguished because we got a doctor. Dr. Purpose will be joining us for the Just Acting Up show. So y'all do not want to miss this. Trust me, it's going to be a really, really great interview. You want to stick around to see this. Stay locked in. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest in here for the Just Acting Up show, Dr. Purpose. We got to clap it in for this thing. Come on, man. Clap in. How you doing?
I am great. I'm blessed and highly favored and excited to be with you guys on today. So thank you all for having me on today.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. So let's go ahead and get into it real quick. So of course, you know, you do have your play coming up June 25th, 26th, and we'll get into that. But let's get to know first, who is Dr. Purpose?
Okay. You know what? I've been doing interviews for so long, and a lot of times I leave off a lot because it seems like God is consistently adding on to what I'm doing. So I'm gonna try to get this right. Okay. So
good. Take your time.
My name is Dr. Purpose. I have a doctorate in psychology, so that is why the doctor is in front of Purpose. Purpose came when I became a minister. I'm a gospel singer, retired gospel singer. So Purpose came because the Bible talks about before I knew you, I knew you before you was in your mother's womb. And so I use that as it being a past tense because he knew me, he foreknew me. So instead of me just saying Purpose, I just say Dr. Purpose. And I'm also as you said, I am writing a play. I am an author of 15 books. I'm a spiritual life coach. I am a mother. I am a grandmother of one. I'm also a wife for almost 16 years. Thank you. I have 3 beautiful children. All of their birthdays are in May. And so I have 3 Geminis. 3 Geminis. Each one of them they're walking in their purpose. I am one of those type of parents that I would say, and what I do for others is I help people push them past their pain to their purpose. And so that's one thing that I'm actually known for. And another one is I am a survivor of domestic violence of 23 years this October. I've been in ministry for 23 years. And also I'm an advocate for domestic violence. I'm an educator. I put on a big event every October that's called the Butterfly and Balloon Release. And that is to honor those that have passed away from domestic violence and sex trafficking, as well as survivors that have overcome, I call them overcomer, instead of just survivors of domestic violence and sex trafficking.
Wow. First, I'm sorry, but my bad, y'all. Before we continue this interview, you said all 3 kids were born in May.
Yes, May 28th of 1990. That's my first son. And then I have a daughter, the one, y'all will be hearing about her. Her name is Brianni. Shout out to Brianni. She just made 26. And then her birthday is May 31st. And then I have a 23-year-old. Her name is Courtney. She's Chef Courtney. She's a chef, and her birthday is June 1st. So yes, I have 3 Geminis. What?
Okay. So it made me excited. Well, first, like you said, shout out to your babies. They say your babies, even though they grown up. My birthday is in May, so that's why I was like,
okay, yes.
Yeah. I'm not a Gemini. I'm a Taurus though, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, my dad is too. My dad is too. When is your birthday?
May 4th.
Okay, my dad's birthday, May 10th.
May 4th. And it's funny too, because like my little girl, her birthday is May 21st.
So okay.
I got Gemini on my hand. Yeah. So that just, I'm like, yeah, like, you're a real one.
Well, I'm a Christmas baby, so
hey.
So if anyone is asking, my birthday is September 20th.
Okay, September 20th. I had a brother that recently passed away. I know y'all know Slump Thug, y'all from Houston, Texas. So Slump Thug is like a brother to us. Before he even started, my brother, they called him Psycho. His name was Anthony Watson, and that was his best friend. So when he had his funeral, I don't know if people came for my brother or did they actually come for Slim, but his birthday was September the 18th. So I'm so familiar with that sign. But we bumped heads. Me and him really bumped heads a lot, so, but I love him and I miss him. I lost 2 brothers that a year apart from each other. They were young. One was 30, I think 37. And then the next year and 9 days later, I lost my brother, Anthony. So it was very hard. I really feel like I've been through a lot. I've really been stretched beyond measures.
Gotcha. Continue to pray for your healing and peace. I know it's been.
Oh yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. Still continue to pray for your healing and peace.
Thank you.
Talk about your journey obtaining so many multiple degrees.
You know what? One thing about me is that I feel like when I talk about purpose, we all have a purpose in life. And some people don't like school. But because I endured so much education to me and being a person from domestic violence and child abuse, I realized that one thing that people can't take away from me is my education, my knowledge. Right. And so I was always one that gravitated to knowledge. I was very inquisitive as a young child, and I picked up on reading very easily. Anything came to me, just knowledge is power. And so with 1 degree, and when I was in high school, I went to a predominantly white school, Scarborough High School, shout out for Scarborough. And I didn't understand God's purpose because I wanted to go to Booker T, with my cousins. And I ended up at Scarborough. And what they taught me was how to be educated, how to be fulfilling life, where we were just looking at going off to college. I went to Grambling University. So I went into high school with the knowledge of, I'm going to Grambling, right? And so the students were asking me, how you know you're going to Grambling? And I was like, because it's a family tradition. Now that I'm older and I look back, I realized that they were saying that because what some of us Black people didn't know if we wasn't athletes or whatever, or, you know, I was an honor student, but I wasn't concerned about getting scholarships. So that's why they were looking like, okay, how you know where you're going? Because they were looking on based on their scholarships. And so one degree and led to another degree. And I just love education. I have so many certificates. I don't even acknowledge the certificates because I try to keep myself educated if I'm not getting it in a degree. But I'm also going to tell you spiritually what God told me. Sometimes with man, because he said that I've already ordained you, I already certified you. And so what he told me was that the degrees that you have will get you in places that just based on your looks or who you were, or just because of the color of your skin, your degrees can get you in places that, in, you know, in doors that other things couldn't have gotten you in. So I had to understand that and digest that. Having that doctorate degree, when I talk to people and they're like, oh, are you a medical doctor? No, I have a PhD in psychology and an honorary doctorate degree. And so when I say that, do you know how many doors that opens up just to have that degree and have that knowledge? So I understand. Now, it doesn't mean that I remember everything, but just to have, just to know that I did endure, I did go to school, and I did know what God was trying to do with me, because, you know, your purpose is always bigger than you. And so I didn't understand that, but now I know what, you know, the education, I needed the education, because that means that I can sit in a room with people that are have multiple degrees and still like I can hold a conversation with them and don't feel like I'm the oddball in the group.
You're the voice for domestic violence.
I'm the voice for domestic violence.
And also helping so many families. I think the number was over 500,000 families.
Yeah.
And I mean, we need a bigger word for astounding, because like what you're doing it's a blessing to others. And just, you know, how did you take what happened to you and what led you to that path of getting involved and helping others going through similar experiences?
One of my quotes that I use is, your pain becomes your purpose. And a lot of times we're walking in life and we're doing the things that we want to do. And so one of the things as a coach and as one that worked in a career center with students, I would get with the students and they were getting ready to graduate. So I would congratulate them on that. And I noticed I had a gift. And so what it was that I could talk to someone and realize what their potentials were. And so with that being said, I got to the place where, as I was following my pathway through Christ, I went through a domestic violence divorce. And at that path, I was going back to school. I was like halfway in, halfway out. And as I was going, God started downloading things like, when you finish, you're going to work for CPS. And I'm like, oh, okay, for real? And so when I would tell that to people, they was like, oh, you're going to get in at CPS? And everything I started noticing started happening just like God said it was. So he said that he would direct your path, right? And every way that is crooked, he will make them straight. And so as you start believing that and start knowing the word of God, you start knowing what your purpose was. So all of the stuff that I had to endure in life, trust me, there were many a times I had to question God, why me? Why did I have to go through this and go through that? And so your pain normally becomes your purpose, and it becomes your passion, because you don't want to see other people endure what you had to endure. And so God had to allow me to go through those various things so that when I'm coming to others, I have compassion. I know how I feel. I know how it's not just a job for me. And when I talk to people, I will always say, what is it that you would do that they wouldn't have to pay you for? That's when you know it's your purpose, because you don't have to get paid for your purpose, not by man, not by materialistic things. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes it's by your spiritual man, because God gonna look at us when we get up there and he's gonna say, what did you do for my people? You know, not how much money you made, none of that kind of stuff. Those are rewards. Right. But my main purpose is to help those that have been caught in domestic violence situations and sex trafficking. And I'm telling you, it gets hard. And it's not something that I chose for myself. Trust me. This is not something that I would want to do, because it's almost like being a philanthropist or being an advocate, or being, when I went to just last week, I came back from one of my goals last year. I said, I'm getting to the White House. I'm getting to the White House. And that's so I can start doing public speaking and start talking more about domestic violence. And what happened was I went and I took a picture on my Instagram, Facebook, and I said, you know, God, you're ordering my footsteps. And so I even did the little wave, like, you know, like Michelle Obama and all that kind of stuff. And my best friend, so my best friend was out there. She's like, Dr. Purpose, y'all. And so, you know, sometimes we have to speak things into existence. And I know that's where God is. He's putting me in front of people that I would have never been around in my life if I wasn't fulfilling my purpose. And so when I look back on this stuff, and then I also want to throw this in there. I know y'all heard about this Johnny Depp thing and his ex-wife Amber Heard. And so a lot of people didn't really know about domestic violence or wasn't saying. It was something that they kind of hid secretly about, you know, I'm a domestic violence victim, or they didn't even realize they were going through domestic violence because a lot of people only look at the physical abuse. Right. And so God told me, he said, the very thing that you had to endure in life, I'm going to bring light to that thing and put you on a platform where everybody going to start knowing it. So when that Johnny Depp thing came out, and just to know I got connections with Johnny Depp, that was like, okay, God, I understand I'm on the right pathway. And so that's why I push for what I'm doing, because at the end of the day, what God showed me yesterday, it is not about you, Dr. Purpose, at all. It is not you going to get the glory behind any of this. It's just that you're obedient to take the hit, because God said, I didn't tell you how you was going to die. I didn't tell you how, if you was going to get shot by a car, or somebody is going, get shot by a gun, or somebody going to run over you. I didn't tell you how the ending of this thing is going to be. We just know that the last enemy is death. I just need you to continue to fulfill your purpose, and so you can get to your destiny. So I'm just doing what God called me here to do.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
I did not know that we were gonna have church this morning on a Saturday. Come on now, when you go down your whole time, you said teacher, minister. I'm like, yeah, minister. Like, she just straight up, come on now. No, thank you. Seriously, thank you for sharing all this and being transparent with with your vision and what you're doing. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. It truly is. So so many things to talk about. So let's go into your books now. You're an author, multiple books. Let's talk about that. How did you? Because we write comedy ourselves.
Okay.
But what you do, it's some healing behind it, and so let's talk about because you said it was 15 books.
Yeah, I have 15 books, and a lot of them was written during the pandemic. So it had to be God.
Yeah, because it's been 2 years almost, or 2 years I think during pandemic.
And I finished writing. I think last year was my last book that I wrote, and that one was called "The Perception of a Domestic Violence Through the Eye of a Child." Because sometimes we don't think about what a child go through when they're watching domestic violence, their parents going through domestic violence, and how those things traumatize, that person. Or we're looking at the world called it, what I like to say, the world called it karma, but the Bible, we call it you reap what you sow. And so a lot of times these children are going through trauma, especially I used to work for Children's Protective Services, as well as I'm a trauma counselor. So when you look at those different things, you're talking about depression and all this stuff in little children that you don't even realize that they're going through. Oh, get it right. You know how we'll hit them, get your life together, whatever. Not knowing that your children is going through something. And sometimes it can come out of just listening to you, your wife, or your significant other, just having an argument. That stuff triggers a child. And those sometimes are everlasting impressions. And then when something happens, we don't want to say, you're reaping what you sowed. Or sometimes there are, I don't call them generational curses, I call them generational cycles. And so now I'm in the position in myself, I'm 51. So now I'm breaking these generational cycles, because I don't want my children to endure in half of the things that I had to endure in my own life. So back to the book. I don't want to get thrown out. So my first book, I was working at CPS, and God said, I want you to write a book. Now, during this time, a lot of people didn't know my story because I had not told my story. Because as a victim, you're told, don't you say anything, I'm gonna kill you. And when you're dealing with a hands-on abuser, they will literally do what they say they're going to do. People don't believe that. People are always asking the question, why you didn't leave, or all this kind of stuff. You don't understand the psychological lasts longer than the physical. And so as I started working for CPS, I'm out there divorced. I'm like an entrepreneur from birth, and I'm going to school on Sundays. And so God said, write a book. And I'm like, no, I'm at CPS. And God said, write a book. And I'm like, I'm not going to put all that stuff out there because I got some deep stuff, you know. And so God said, write a book.
Yeah, right.
And so it says, stretch beyond measures on my way to my journey, on my way to my purpose. And so this book actually talks about everything that I had to endure in life from every stage to understand that this was about purpose. This was something that God knew the ending before the beginning. So all you're doing is just walking through it. And when you get to that standpoint, when you say, God, look, I'm tired. I'm tired of trying to do things my way. I'm tired of trying to make people my God, or trying to understand me and all this kind of stuff. You get to the place where you start listening to God. You don't want to hear carnal-minded people or everything everybody else have to say, because everybody have an opinion, right?
Right.
But when you start listening to the voice of God and start understanding who he is, you start realizing that when he said, when you delight yourself in me, I will give you the desires of your heart. And so as I started delighting myself in him, getting to know him one-on-one, I could hear from him so clear. Now I'm already a prophet, is not knowing it. On the street, we call it what was we call it? I said I had PMS. I used to say it back in the day. Oh, I have I think that's what it's called. Yeah, PMS. No, it's not. No, I don't want to say that wrong, y'all, because y'all know women have PMS.
Hey,
So I used to say ESP. Lord have mercy. Y'all cut that out. ESP. So when people would say, like, how do you know that? I'll say, I have ESP. I'm psychic. I'm like Cleo. And so as I started getting older, my mother and my sister started noticing I would have these deep, deep dreams. And when I would come out to dreams, it would feel so real. And we're from Louisiana. And so my mom started catching on, and she was saying, you know what? I think you have the gift. That's what they'll call it, the gift. But when I got into ministry, I realized that I was a prophetess, and a prophet is just a person that goes before, you know, something happened. God said that he'll give us a warning before destruction. And so sometimes I come and I give warnings. Sometimes everybody's looking for, oh, prophesy to me about I'm gonna get a man or wife and this and that kind of stuff. I can only prophesy what God showed me. It's up to you to believe it. And I promise you, the closer or the older I'm getting, maybe my time is getting close, but it's like it doesn't take God long for it to happen. So I give the warning, and then boom, somebody will say, oh, this situation just occurred. So stretch beyond measures, what it actually means is that in the Bible, God talks about everybody has been given a measure of faith according to their purpose. And so that means, say, for instance, if I was a pastor, I may go through my endurance probably be more than the next person. And then because it's a level of faith. And so if you understand, every trial is a level, every test is a level of your faith going up and up. Okay, God, I tried you for this little thing. You brought me out. I didn't even think I could make it out of that. But now you brought me through something that, oh Lord, I can't pass through this one right here. And he's steady trying to reassure you, like, I've already won the fight. Well, you know, in your carnal mind, you're not thinking like that. God, I can't see you. It don't feel like I'm gonna get through this thing. But so he stretched me to get to where I am now. So it's not that I can't endure anything by myself, but I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And so that's what stretched beyond measures. And I'm talking about stretched. I'm still being stretched. It doesn't end until when he decides to call me home.
And that when you're being stretched, that's just turned to a testimony, you know.
That's a testimony.
Testimony. And you're doing good by spreading what he has done for you and what he's brought you through, because that may help somebody else that's going through that same thing. You know. And
that's the whole reason why God allows us to. A lot of people suppress, or they don't want to talk about what they don't even want to share, because, you know, especially in the Black community, we look at, I went through molestation. I went through child abuse. I went through domestic violence. And a lot of people, and when we look at where molestation comes from, molestation is kind of like when they say it's not rape. We wouldn't look at it as rape. It could be rape, but it's not rape because it's always somebody you know. It's not a stranger who raped you, because that's what we'll say, okay, we got raped. But when it's somebody that's close, near, family members, those things that we hide in the dark, most of the times it's somebody we know. But a lot of times what happened with me is God made me just that transparent person, where when I was younger, everybody said, oh girl, you just tell everything. Like you just tell it all. See, you could see the innocence in me as a young child. I didn't know right from wrong. I was just, you know what, this person did da 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 da. I did da 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 da. And I caught whippings because of that. And so what it did was it silenced me. It silenced me from talking about a lot of stuff. And my mom ended up getting sick. I seen the prophetic dream when I was 6 years old. She didn't die until I was 37. Actually, I was born on Christmas at 12/13, and my mom died on December the 13th of 2007. So I correlates numbers. And so when my mom died, she died exactly how I seen it when I was 6 years old. So sometimes God may show you something and the manifestation doesn't come right away. So that one took 37 years, and I was right there on her bedside when she passed away. Well, God had to muffle her mouth because my mom was very verbally abusive more than the physical. I went through both of them. But you know, when you get a certain age with your kids, they start saying, I'm grown, you can't tell me what to do. Yeah. So it got to the point where, you know, those intimate moments became serious. I mean, where she placed guns to my head. Right now, I am terrified of guns. If I hear a gun go off, I was in Washington, and in Washington is so busy, right? And so every time I heard something, I was just so jumpy. But I started realizing it was just because of, you know, anxieties or things that I had not overcame. And so just dealing with what I went through, I definitely want people to understand that a lot of people don't want me to tell my story. But when God tells you to do something, he has something behind what the devil is trying to hide you from doing. And I know this book is going to open up a lot of conversations, which it has, because I'm very verbal on my social medias. And I've had family members that have came to me secretly because they could not talk to other people. I just had a niece who passed away year before last from sex trafficking, who only knew me as the minister. And prior to that, God kept telling me, do you want to die for this? The week she finally talked to me, but I didn't know she was going through sex trafficking, she just asked for me and my team to pray for her. By the nighttime, my coworker, because it was a conflict of interest, my director called her, let her pray with her. By the end of that night, the next morning, we found out she was dead. Somebody came in there and killed her. This is how deep this stuff is. It's nothing to play with. And if God did not literally push me into this purpose, I promise you, I would not be doing this. This is not what I wrote down in my to-do list or in my goals, that I wanted to be the voice of domestic violence or sex trafficking.
Right.
What did you want to do? I'm curious now.
I went to school for mass communications, and everybody that knew me knows that I am an actress, I'm a singer, my brother say, girl, you just an entertainer, so I can do it all. And that was my goal. Look, I had it all together. I was going to Grambling University. I was going to be on the radio. Back then we had cassettes. So I was going to interview all these famous people, and I was going to give them my little cassette, and I was going to make it famous like that. So that was my goal. God had something totally different for me. I did get back into the music industry. I do have a gospel CD out. It's been out for years. And so just to see that God said, if you do what I called you to do first, and that was probably going to be in the secular arena, but now I'm in the gospel. So God had a better plan than I had for myself. So that was my goal, to be in communications, mass communications. And if you look at it now, being a host, being a speaker, all of that goes together. So he still did it.
When he bless you, he don't always bless you how you expect him to bless you.
Exactly. Exactly.
And shout out to Grambling University. I got some family that went to Grambling too. So yeah, they're gonna be proud. It's like, you had somebody on there for Grambling? Like, yes, watch the show.
What part of Louisiana? What part of Louisiana?
We're from Jennings, Louisiana, and my grandfather was the first Black chief of police. So when you go, it's right by about 30 minutes from Lake Charles. And so if you know Monroe, Roanoke, a lot of people know Grambling. If you look at the big sign, it says Buddha and King. So when everybody see that sign, it's like, oh, I'm going to get some boudin. They used to have the best boudin. And so it's just a little small town in Louisiana, very, very country. The accent is very strong. And I tried to fit in when I went to Grambling with my little Southern my little voice, like, right? And they straight up, I was like, oh God, I'm from Louisiana, shit. And they was like, oh no, you sound like you're probably from Texas or something. So that didn't even work. So,
yeah, my wife, she's from New Orleans, and when she came down here, she had an accent. That was in like, that was years. That was before Katrina, way before Katrina. But she lost it. But I got people, best friends and stuff. They from Opelousas.
Yeah,
and they still got it. And then one of my best friends I grew up with, he's from Mamou.
Okay.
So.
See, everybody here just tied to Louisiana some kind of way, man.
We have to. We're all around. I don't think as Black minorities or our Black community, we don't really realize how long our ancestry or where we come from, how long they can't do anything without us. I'm just being serious. I'm a mixture, like they call New Orleans the Creole pot, the big pot, whatever the pot that they call. We all mixed together. That's what Creole stands for. Yeah. And so I got some of everything in my blood. So, I don't segregate against each other. I'm not biased against each other, but, I finally learned how to embrace my dark skin, my physique and all of that kind of stuff, which I was told to hate myself, my natural hair, everything that people didn't like about me. It was one year God said, now the last shall be first and the first shall be last. And so then the big lips came out, the physique and all the kind of stuff that I hate about myself. Now it's like, I fit in the crowd and I don't even look like I'm 54 years old. So God, I thank you for that.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. One more question before we get into the play, of course.
Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about your butterfly balloon release.
Yes.
Talk about that event.
And this was only God's will. I had stepped out of the will of God at one time because my ex relationship, I thought God was going to bring it together. He kept showing me everything, right? He kept showing me I was going to be married to a pastor. So when I would meet guys, probably like y'allself, and we'll get to conversating and stuff, and I would always say, he has to be a man of God. He has to be a pastor. And they'd be like, why he have to be a pastor? I didn't even know why he had to be a pastor. Like, I didn't even know why he had to be a pastor. But you have to be around like-minded individuals, and I didn't know how anointed I was, right? And so what was we saying? Because I'll get thrown out.
You're good. Your butterfly balloon release. You're good.
Okay. So I was with another guy. I was engaged to this other guy, and I realized about myself that I was trying to force men to do the things that I like to do. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't curse. I didn't do any of those things, even before ministry, right? I was just so odd. And I realized that I was like, can you come to church with me? Can you do this and that? And so I ended up, one day God really got on me and I was like, I need to go to church. So I went to church, and as soon as I walked in, I have one of those spirits, like, if y'all ever been to one of those sanctified churches or them churches, and they just like, you right there, come to the front, that's how I was. I would always try to hide. And they called me out and they said, look, God is saying you got to get this thing right now, and he got so much work for you to do, and you have to redeem time. And redeeming the time is kind of like when you sat back and you didn't receive your calling, and God said, okay, we're going to have to do some catch up. So if y'all ever see yourself like, oh my God, I just went through one situation and I'm going through another one, that's because he's redeeming time. He's trying to catch you up to where you should have been. And so, with me going through all of that, I finally realized, you know what, let me just do it God's way. So I end up meeting this guy at the church, because the Bible says when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing, he obtains favors. I kind of I brag on that. I was telling my
Amen.
favorite.
Amen.
So
Brag on it, sister. Brag on it.
He's from Way, Ohio, and he's talking, and I'm not paying him no attention. I'm engaged to someone else, and we walking. So he's talking to me, and he says, "I lost a daughter 2 years from domestic violence." And I said, "Wait a minute, what's your name?" Like, I needed to hear his whole story because I had blocked everything out. So when he told me he lost a daughter to domestic violence 2 years prior to us meeting, which is in 2004, we got married in 2006. That caught my eyes. That caught my attention. Soon as we walked in the church, the pastor started prophesying, right? That I was gonna get married. Now, this lady didn't even really know me, right? So I'm thinking, I'm wearing this big ring. I'm thinking she's talking about the guy that I'm with now. I mean, the guy that I was with then. She's talking about God was going to do a new thing and a quick thing. So my husband and I, he pursued me, y'all. When I'm talking about pursue, I was like, can you hook up with my sister or this and that, you know? But God, that Holy Spirit dropped in me and something just dropped. And I said, oh God, like, I don't even know this guy. So I married him. And I really believed he had a ring he used to wear on his necklace, and it was from his daughter. And I believe that when he put that ring on my finger, that her spirit transferred inside of me. So she's from North Carolina. Her name is Marshita Darcy Carn. And so I ended up becoming an advocate, and it got more powerful. I tried to run away from it, and people would come and prophesy to me, say, no, this is what God wants you to do. I had my own radio show. And God took me off that radio show. And so I went into this full time, and I did not know the doors that God would open. So what ended up happening was her killer only served 12 years in jail from North Carolina based on their law. So he got out, and then while I had the radio show, some lady was putting in my chats, because I love to read my chats, right? And she kept saying, you know, can you please contact me? So I always try to look everybody up to see, you know, if they're going to be a guest, right? And so when I looked her up, I'm like, this lady lives way in North Carolina, so we're gonna have to put her on the phone. So when I called her, she broke down crying, and she said, I asked God, if you're real, this lady is going to call me. And so as I called her, she began to tell me the story. She said, are you the stepmother of Marshita Darcy Carn? And I said, yes, I am. She said, for 3 months, the guy who killed her, Charles Combs, had kept me hostage for 3 months. And he told me that he killed Marshita. He didn't regret it, and he sold his soul to the devil. Listen how crazy this is. And so here I am. I started to do this butterfly balloon release because I have a nonprofit organization called Divine Destiny Ministry and Crisis Center, where we help domestic violence women and children. So I didn't want to do that, but somebody kept saying, you need to get it back open. So I gave my husband as a surprise, October the 17th of 2020. I gave him the proclamation from Texas, from Houston, for her proclamation called Marshita's House. The very next year, October the 23rd, we did our second butterfly balloon release. October the 10th, Charles Combs killed another young lady from North Carolina named LaPortia Baldwin. It was all on social media. And now he's in jail. So I believe that God used me in order to bring him back to jail. So now we're hoping he gets life in jail. It ended up hitting Chelsea Edwards. I got in the news. It was like a big event. And so now they call me as the expert to find out any information that's dealing with domestic violence. So I'm just telling y'all, just being obedient. God have bigger plans than we could ever. Our mind can't even fathom the things and the places and the people that God wants to bless, or people that are in dangerous situations, that you may be the voice to get them out of a situation. Now, you don't want to go through. I never tell anybody it was easy, but it was worth it. Because if I can just be here to save one person. And so what I had to realize was, this is not about me. This is not about Dr. Purpose. This is not about Ladera. This is not about Dee Dee, Deidre, whoever they call me. It's about the God that's in me, and he wants to use me as a vessel, and I'm just the voice to help somebody else. If it's just one person that I can help, then I've done my job. And all I want to hear him say is, well done, my good and faithful servant.
God. Yeah. God really using you. Like I'm like, man, this. Thank you.
So this event, we're having it this year, October the 23rd. And so what I did this year, I actually did a commercial on my Facebook, and the commercial is inviting everybody from Houston. I just got off the phone with Jolanda Jones. We're, if y'all know Jolanda Jones, she just won district, I think 147 or 149. And she's gonna be, we're doing a documentary for the domestic violence. And so she's going to be heading up, because a lot of people don't know her story. And so there's so many people right here in Houston that don't know that their story about domestic violence, major people. And so what I did was I collaborated, especially with the people from North Carolina, where the Portia and Rashida was killed. God said, contact everybody you know that's dealing with domestic violence, that has an organization. Ask them, businesses, anybody, would they participate, whether it's virtual or in person at our event, and come out and put balloons and butterflies to represent those that have passed away and those that have survived. And so this event has become bigger than myself. And so all I'm doing is like, I'm not telling you that I'm not nervous when I do it, but it's like, once you get me on stage or in my purpose, it's like, whoo, like God just kind of takes over. And then afterwards, it's like, oh, I'm so glad I did that, because I never would have known that because of LaPortia, and I hate to say that somebody had to die in order for people to recognize that domestic violence is real and for Charles to be put away. And so just to know that I had a part to do with that, and I never met Marshita ever in my life. I've never met her. For God to be able to use me, that tells me I am walking in my purpose, and I'm doing my purpose, and I'm here for a purpose.
Amen.
Now we have another person that's not here that's part of our show, Shay, and she has a fashion show coming up called Hidden in Plain Sight, and it's an event that brings awareness to human trafficking. And you know, you all, and through your experiences and what you deal with domestic violence and both
and sex trafficking.
So messages are definitely important to be spread, and so we just want to kind of, can you elaborate more on the play Stretch Beyond Measures?
Yes, sure. Okay, so the play is called Stretch Beyond Measures. Okay, and it's a 1989 production. This guy, his name is Harold Trotter. He also graduated from Grambling University. His production company is 1989. Dreams Production. I don't know if y'all heard of him, but if y'all from Houston, y'all should have heard about Harold Trotter by now. It's coincidental. I graduated high school in '89. We both went to Grambling at different times. God put us together. We have a wonderful cast. The play will be June the 25th and the 26th. We have different showing times. It will be at Midtown Arts Center in our downtown Houston. We have vendors. We have vendors opportunities. We're just trying to get this place filled, whether I'm giving out free tickets or whatever. I want people to understand that there's nothing too hard for God. And because of what I endured, and he said he's no respect of person, and to see how he's allowed me to make it this far. And I was that person that was told you'll never be anybody, nobody would ever want you. You know, you're nothing. I wish you were dead. I was all of those type of people. And to see how far God have brought me, I want people to understand that God can set you free. God can deliver you, whatever you put your mind to, if you just keep on focusing on it and don't let people tear down your dreams. And just understand that this play, like I said, it's more about God than it is about me. It's just telling you my story, but it's giving God the testimony and the glory. It's my testimony, but it's his glory. And so we have some wonderful actors that they're paid actors. So these people are serious about it. And what I heard was when we did an interview, and that was my first time hearing some of them talk about, because I don't go to their rehearsals. And I heard some of them asking me questions and talking about it. And I'm like, see, y'all talking as though y'all the characters, but this is my reality. And so sometimes I hear it even myself, just when I see it, I know that I'm going to break down, because I'm going to be like, God, you brought me through all of that. So when I used to think that I was weak, I realized that I'm a very strong Black woman. And so I'm so proud of what God have done with me. I'm so proud to even be acknowledged as not a playwright, but one who is now presenting a play as a Black woman, that not too many of us get this far. You know, a lot of us said I need to write a book, or we're gonna write a book, but to get to where I am is nobody but the grace of God.
Amen. Amen and amen again. This,
I hate to say church, but that's how I talk.
No, you're good. Hey, we need more of that. That's why I was like, man, this has been like a really hit, like, despite everything that wrong that has happened to you and others, this has been like a really healing interview. And it's, so thank you for sharing and being transparent with us and sharing all this.
Okay, and the tickets can be purchased at 1989dreams.com/tickets. Y'all will have it on the flyer, so if y'all want to put it on there, and which is with Eventbrite. And so y'all, please, y'all come out and y'all see the play. Even y'all also, y'all come out and see the play. Invite everybody, your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother. You know, a lot of it shows the torment between me and my mom. And that's a story all by itself. And I realized that that also became me and one of my daughters. And so, like I said, I had to break that cycle. I had to sit back into, you know, the hardest thing for us to do is to listen to our children tell us things about ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And you thinking you're the best parent, and look, we try to make every excuse. You don't know what I've been through. But I realized the best tool to help somebody is to listen and take accountability of their pain, to acknowledge their pain, their hurt, because a lot of us is walking around, we're so traumatized because of our past, because we had to keep it hush hush. We couldn't say anything. And so we couldn't get healed properly. And so what we do is we go, like they say, hurt people, because we don't know how to deal with our pain. We don't know how, all we know how to do is suppress it, hide it, or take it to our grave. And so then what we're doing is we're carrying that thing on. And so we're telling somebody else, don't talk about it. It's not okay to talk about it. But in the inside, if you're looking at this pandemic, look at all these people committing suicide. And you're sitting up here saying, dang, what, life wasn't that bad. I'm talking about young children, 21 younger ones, that we're saying like life is just beginning for you, but you just never know what a child has been endured. When I look at stuff like that, and because I worked at CPS, I look at molestation a lot of times. I'm looking at women and children with their fathers, children with their uncles, males with mama's boyfriends, and you know, everybody just look at the women. A lot of it is men too. And so when I look at all of that stuff, it hurts me to my core. And I just want to be a voice for everybody to look and say, look, it's okay. I've actually been on a somebody called me to be featured in their magazine. And this person didn't know me from Adam and Eve. And he just felt compelled to just like to pour out into me everything that he had endured. Now to look at him and see how successful he is, because he's gonna be on Power, you would look at him like, oh, okay, he got it all together. Just like you look at me and probably think those things. But he felt like, I don't know why I'm telling you these things, but it was the Holy Spirit that was pulling him to release those things, because where God is taking him. So I encourage everybody to, you know, go see a therapist. Talk to somebody like myself. I am a therapist. I am one that will sit down and talk to you all day. Like this you can go on 26 hours. I can talk my butt off. I got the gift of gab. So, but I want people to get healed, to be set free, delivered, and not to keep carrying this on to our next generation. I got a grandbaby. And when I look at this 12-year-old girl that looks like a grown woman, you know, I fear for her life, because now you got, I don't know if is guys interested in her, and then there's females that's looking at her. I want her to be pure. You know, I don't want anybody to take what they took from me, because that's something that you can never take back. You can never get back as your virginity, or something that you didn't give consent to. So that's why I do what I do.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I have 2 nieces. They like 9 months, and I fear for them.
Oof.
I know, like
it's scary.
It is. It really is. It really is. I'm mentally preparing myself, you know. But,
and sometimes we don't get the wake up call until we are faced with it. Just like you said, now I got nieces. So now I'm more aware, or I got my eyes open more. Before I wasn't even thinking about these things. It could have been my sister or somebody in my own household that I didn't even pay any attention. Sometimes we're not getting along with our siblings, not knowing that they've been through all this trauma that they're trying to suppress and hide. Now, everybody's story, everybody's not willing to tell their story. I'm not the only person that went through it, but I'm the only person that said, okay, I'm going to speak out. And I have to realize that I'm not just telling my story. I'm telling my mom's story. I'm telling other people's story that's connected to me, probably my grandmother's story, you know, my grandmother's story. So my story is being told throughout that everybody gonna understand, you know what, maybe my mom was this way because of some things that she had to endure in life. We don't know, she's dead right now. But I can understand my mom had told me and my sister she did not want girls. And based on going through my psychological mindset or in the way I analyze things, I said maybe she didn't want me and my sister because she didn't want us to endure the things that she had to endure growing up, because that is some painful stuff to be able to go through. And then you got to live life. Well, I said, okay, now you know, now go live life. And you think that that stuff is not going to break you down and sometimes make you want to commit suicide. It does.
Like I said, it's about breaking those cycles, and we gotta have those conversations amongst each other and our family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Doctor, can you now you have Instagram, of course, right?
Yes, I have Instagram, and I'm becoming TikTok famous too.
Well, come on now. Can you tell us?
Throw that out there.
No, good. Hey, no, that's why we asked that question. Can you tell us your Instagram name and your TikTok as well, please?
Okay, my Instagram is Dr. _purpose with a ED, and then my TikTok is LV Brown 42. My Facebook is Ladera Carn, and then I have another one that's called Dr. Purpose, one word, Carn. And then I have all of the annual butterfly balloon release. So if you look up under my name, you'll find every business name that is connected to it.
Okay, we'll make sure to do that. Before you go, first and foremost, thank you again so much for sharing all that. You've been a joy. We don't much have to tell you to continue to do what you do. You already like you just go. Just give doctor, tell the doctor, she's like, okay, I got you. She got it. She got it.
Just thank you that you were able to come to our platform, and just like I said, we want to get words out and messages out like this to people, and introduce them to people like you. So we definitely appreciate you coming on our platform.
Thank you so much. And what we're trying to do now is, when I went to Washington, I got to meet some wonderful people, and a lot of people know Dr. Purpose. If you say Dr. Purpose, the name is so, it stands out. But I realize that there's a lot of people that don't know Dr. Purpose. And so any platform that's available to me, every door that God opens, I step on them. I don't care if I'm not prepared or whatever. I just let God just use me, like kind of like y'all, we just kind of gifted with words. And so because I allow God to give the glory, if y'all ever want to have me back on y'all platform, if y'all want to have it as a discussion or whatever, that we're talking about these different things, this is what I'm trying to bring to light, so that we can be, especially as a Black minority, because a lot of, I would say, my Caucasian community have not dealt with a lot of things that I have dealt with. And I see it, I hear them, the stories are kind of different when we talk about, oh, my child, when they talk about my children are on drugs, what should I do? And they're panicking. And, we learn how to deal with dysfunction. We lived in dysfunction. We thought that was functional. So when we hear that, we kind of like, that's all they're going through? You're like, do you know what we're going through?
Like, damn.
And I hate to say it like that. I'm back there like, that's it. Like, I know people that's in jail and all this kind, I'm saying? Like, that's all.
Like,
but I thank God that I can bring a light into a room and bring some knowledge to those that are not aware. And I'm always learning. I'm always evolving. I'm always trying to get more and more and more. And so I love being on platforms like y'all. I've never been on one that I could actually be so free where y'all say, okay, I'm not even putting a time stamp on it. But, I enjoyed myself on today. I didn't even know what to expect. Y'all are an awesome host both of you guys. I would like to meet Shay as one day, but if y'all ever want to have me back, even on my platform, I have a platform as well. I have Unify as a show. I have a new one that's getting ready to come out that's called Pain to Purpose. I'm believing God that thing is going to do bigger. I'm going to be like Ayana Van Zandt, be on something like that. Like I'm coming to people's house and I'm sitting down with them, talking to them instead of them coming to my house. And so God has some big, I am a visionary. So I'm one of those, I kind of put it out there and I just let people just run with it. So I hope this won't be the last time, and I hope we can get involved in these kind of conversations that's going to open up some eyes and some voices to people that has been quiet.
Yeah, most definitely. You said that your balloon release event is going to be here in Houston, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have here every
and
year.
It's later in October, you said?
Yes, October is Domestic Violence Month, and so we do it every month. We celebrate the whole month of October, and to bring awareness to domestic violence, as well as that is Breast Cancer Month. And yes, it's going to be this year, October the 23rd at October 23rd of 2022. So I keep forgetting the year. So we're in 2022. My vision for it is that I'm having speakers and people coming in that they're able to use it as a platform to talk about, like y'all talking about Shay. She can get up there and talk about, because where we're having it is on, I think 98 Willcrest, which is off of Vincennet. And that is where the sex trafficking, I used to live out there. That is where sex trafficking hood city is. And it's a big open space, a big event. And so I'm trying to get everybody, because I'm trying to do it like everybody set up their tables and whatever they want to do, so they don't have to pay for vendors. If people want to pay and give into the ministry to give donations, yes, we're looking for sponsors. We're looking for everybody. We're looking for news crew. We're looking for radio stations, for anybody, business owners, everybody to get out, because nobody is prone to this thing. This is not, you know, a colorism thing or a race thing. This is, everybody is getting hit with this pandemic, this domestic violence and this sex trafficking thing. So yes, this is a large event, and I'm praying when I die, this be left on for my legacy for others to continue.
And you're right in the heart of it. You're right in the heart of it. That's
oh yeah, that's when I went there, because that's what we do my my show to cast, and I'm like, dang, I grew up on this street, you know, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, I see, I'm sorry to say it like that, but I started seeing prostitutes, and I was like, where am I at? You know,
right. I had a godfather that like took me. We went there for something. Like some market was over there, and I was a kid at the time. I'm like, there's a lot of women.
Thank God, and just to spread awareness, because I think what you're doing is something beautiful, and people need to hear more about it and get more involved. So
it's about, you know, our generation that's growing up, and to acknowledge families. 3 of the families last year that I honored, 4 of the families. 2 of them were right here in Houston. One was in Pearland. He's actually my host now. His name is Don Payne. He lost his daughter in Pearland. Y'all probably heard about it. So all these people are still going through court. They are now advocates for their children. And God just told me last year, and my niece died from sex trafficking. And so we had to do this event, and my family didn't want to hear it. But, you know, when you get involved with these gangs and all this kind of stuff with this sex trafficking, these are the results sometimes. And so, God just said, acknowledge people that have lost their children from. So I give an honorarium to survivors and those that have lost their loved ones. And so it turned out beautiful, and it was just the right amount of people that needed to be there. And it was very intimate last year. And like I said, Chelsea Edwards from Houston TV, I forgot what state, 26, I think. She picked it up, and we was featured here, and we was featured in North Carolina. So you just never know what God's gonna do when you be obedient. So I've met so many people that have been featured on the news here in Houston that I work closely with, and I've been able to, you know, present proclamations or do butterflies and balloons in the name of their siblings, you know. So I'm just amazed how God is using me. I never would have thought he would have went this far, but I'm just a willing vessel, you know. I'm in it until he called me home. So I'm stuck in this thing.
Man, thank you. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're so welcome. Y'all have a blessed one.
You too. Be safe. We'll keep in contact with you. And
Okay.
yeah, many blessings to you and your family.
It's been a pleasure to me to get to know you guys. I know this is not going to be my last time. We got so much work that needs to be done, especially in Houston. I found out Houston is becoming the new Hollywood, California. So
we getting there.
We got some work here to do, and the business is coming out this way. So, you know, I just send a blessing on y'all career to see God open up many other doors, and that we can work together as a unity, you know, instead of working dividedly. You know, it's time for us to come together on one accord.
Agreed. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you. You be blessed. Be safe.
I will, and you do the same. Bye-bye.
Yes, ma'am. Woo, man. Y'all know what this time it is, man. You know what time it is, man. Just acting a fool. Who gets it this time, Chris? Who gets it?
Woo, well, it's this company, you know, they trying a little different approach to get results. Much so, if you're willing to do a little something strange for a piece of change, this experiment may just be for you, right? According to Business Insider, right? A pest control company of North Carolina is looking for participants to allow them to place cockroaches inside their home.
Oh, hell no.
The Pest Informer is looking for 5 to 7 households that would let them release 100 American cockroaches in their homes in exchange for $2,000 to conduct cockroach treatment. The company says it states that the roaches can be difficult to exterminate, so they are conducting a study to test a new technique. And if you have an apartment, you don't qualify, but if you're a homeowner and you get permission from your landlord if you rent the house, you may be able to participate, but you must also live in the United States and be at least 21 years of age. Now, I know one celebrity whose exterminator bill is pretty high. Snoop Dogg, because he's been dealing with roaches for a lot of years. How about this one? Why do y'all think Motel 6 leaves the light on for you? Because the roaches, the light is like the police. They come together, they scatter, they hide, they run. Okay, last one. So they testing.
Okay, Chris, last one. Hit me with the last one.
They say they testing this new experiment, right? What if it don't work? Then what? Do you think you can kindly ask the roaches to leave? Maybe play a little tune and they'll dance right on out the house like, "Bwah, bwah, bwah."
Roaches, come on, roaches, get out of my house, come down, let's go.
How you do that song? That was
roaches out.
Man, ain't no way. I'm laughing at the other part that you mentioned. You said they have to be 21 or older. Roaches don't care about your age, man.
No, it doesn't.
They don't care. Like
I'm just saying, you can't never catch all roaches.
How you gonna let no?
And then they multiply too. And
Yes.
come on now.
What if it don't work? That's the biggest thing. What if the experiment does not work?
That means you stuck with. And then they gonna give you how much? $2,000.
$2,000.
That ain't enough.
That ain't enough.
No, it ain't enough.
You need to give me enough money to call some real people out here. And then pain and suffering at the same time. But come on, guys, let's be honest. Let's be honest here.
Man.
Let's be honest, all right? This has got to be people from the white Caucasus of the Mount Caucasus. Because I know some people, man. Woo! They shit.
Yeah.
They
Dog.
I know some people that got 2,000, got 100 roaches in the house, and they ain't in no experiment.
They ain't in no experience.
Oh,
Woo,
man.
I know some
And you
people.
know, roaches are the most disrespectful insect out there next to mosquitoes. Roaches don't care if you got company in your house, they will crawl across that TV screen and stay right there.
Yeah.
And you're just you're just talking to your homeboy or your friend like the roach ain't right there. Dude, there's a roach right.
Thank you,
Right.
Chris. Thank you for that story. Now I'm finna spray. I'm gonna spray. I hate roaches.
Spray the perimeter.
I hate it. I'm about to spray the whole house. I'm gonna go outside and spray the whole house. Thank you.
I'm about to call the people in my apartment to come in here and check right now. I'm glad I don't have that problem. Like surprisingly, I just don't got time. Like,
ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
It's just it's like go over that one family in my house. Yeah, man, and we gonna sit there and just so
I gotta up that money. Right there. Nah, they need to up that money up.
Like that shit just didn't happen. And I knew one did it with his hand. Say you gonna, and then he's like,
yeah, man. So we gonna have dinner later on at about barbecue pit. We're gonna go over there. We just gonna, and then we're gonna get the charcoal and we're gonna put the gas light over there. And then after that, we're gonna get the potato salad in. And that's what we're gonna do. Make sure you get the beer and everything out.
The ones that have roaches in their house, they are so inviting for people to come. And they cook like it's like it's so inviting.
And then what if it's one of them flying roaches? That'd be the worst. I'm like, oh. No.
Stop inviting everybody over. You know you got roaches. It'll be all right. And they just
yeah,
eat like it ain't nothing.
Like,
real good.
You know how Smokey was and Friday?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Man, let's go and end this, man, because I gotta go. You got me scratching me here, dog.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna talk about some stuff in the balancing act. So yeah, y'all stay locked in. And roaches out of the house. Okay, let me stop. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the segment called Balancing Act, where we usually focus on mental health, or we'll give flowers out to certain individuals to acknowledge what they have done over time. So for this segment, right now we're going to focus on mental health because the guest that we just had on, it's just smart and right to just talk about mental health. We all been dealing with some things off air. We don't really bring our personal life on here and show what we're going through because we just don't like to put our business out like that. But for those who are out there that's dealing with mental health, dealing with some issues, some triggering issues, we have to bring this to light. There's a website called BetterHelp. I've been seeing it over some time. I just couldn't remind myself what's the website that you go on to get help, and BetterHelp is one of them. It's pretty much on the website. It says you deserve to be happy. What type of therapy are you looking for? Individual, couples, teen, you name it. BetterHelp says the world's largest therapy services, 100% online. You want to buy licensed therapists are ready to help, messages, chat, phone, video sessions. People got help. They have their numbers right there. Professional, licensed, and vetted therapists who you can trust. Tap into the world's largest network of licensed, accredited, and experienced therapists who can help you with a range of issues, including depression, anxiety, relationships, trauma, grief, and more. With our therapists, you get the same professionalism and quality you would expect from an in-office therapist, but with the ability to communicate when and how you want. Get matched to a therapist. Look at that, man. So yeah, I recommend that I'm not saying us, but if that is our choice, to get a therapist, because like I said, all three of us, we're in this acting community. We're trying to progress in the acting world. You will need somebody else there if you don't want to go and talk to your family members about it or bring them in on something like this. You want to have certain people on your team to help you as you progress. And I think that's with anything. Like I said, we got ourselves a financial advisor. We talked to her. We got ourselves, of course, our family and loved ones, but you need other people that you have right in that pocket that you can trust to talk to. So yeah, BetterHelp. Even if there's not the people that you want to go to, go ahead, take the initiative, take that step forward in getting yourself some help. Clap it in, clap it in, clap it in, clap it in. Another great show in the books, man. So yeah, man, all that what Mike is doing, that's it. What's that, John Witherspoon from Wayne's Brothers? Start that's what that remind me of, man. So another great show. Shout out to the doctor again, Dr. Purpose. Appreciate it. Thank you. She got some great things going on, and we look forward to working with you in the near future. So y'all keep an eye out for her as well. That's gonna do it, man. Chris, you got anything before we go?
Oh yes, I do. So my positive quote of the day is watch out for that right. Oh no, I'm just playing. We was talking about roaches earlier. Get it? That was always so surprised, all right?
Right? Like, yeah, you know what's coming.
Oh man. But yeah, okay, here we go. Positive quote of the day. If you feel like you're losing everything, remember that trees lose their leaves every year and they still stand tall and wait for better days to come.
That's that D Solo. Stand tall and come back for more.
Mm-hmm.
That's that D Solo. For me, I want to give a shout out my sister-in-law, Goddess Locks. Y'all go check her out, Goddess Locks. She don't call them dreadlocks, she calls them locks. She's a licensed loctician. I'm very proud of her. And shout out to my boy Maven Gray. He has a plate named after him. The Sloppy Dogs is the Humble Courtyard. It's on 1960. It's very good. Shout out to Vic, as I call him. Humble alumni, my boy. Chicken Heads. Y'all go check out Chicken Heads in Port, Texas. I always say I'm gonna go out there, but these gas prices be giving me that I turn a look. But hey, it's in Port, Texas, a good spot. And yeah, man. Hey, everybody keep grinding.
Amen. We catch y'all next time, man. Y'all be safe, be blessed, many blessed, and peace to you and your family. See y'all next time. Just Acting Up Show.